Well, Hillary Clinton hasn't made a decision yet about running for president in 2016, but her supporters are already putting the wheels in motion, raising the question, what lessons did she and her team learn in 2008 that could impact another run for the White House? Our chief political correspondent, Carl Cameron, is live in Washington and taking a look at this today. Carl?
Hi, Jenna. Well, of course, back in 2007 and the 2008 election, Hillary Clinton in the primaries was considered inevitable early on. She had the biggest name recognition, and she was considered a foregone conclusion as both the nominee and ultimately the president, and all that blew up, and Barack Obama became the president. She lost the Democratic caucuses in Iowa, came in third, as a matter of fact. Yesterday, she was up in New York's Harlem area, going to a Head Start classroom with the new mayor of New York, Mayor de Blasio. Not the kind of thing you see a Secretary of State do very often, but she is presumably a candidate in waiting and certainly has done nothing to quell what has been an amazing amount of organizing on her behalf in her absence. Hillary Clinton's in the middle of a whole bunch of groups that are doing things on her behalf. Take a look at this graphic to give you an idea of some of the organizations that are being created to help her. Most notably, an organization called Ready for Hillary, there you see it on the right-hand lower part of your screen, has been out raising money, $4 million, donors more than 30,000, and creating grassroots committees all over the country for outreach for voters. In addition to that, an organization called Priorities USA, which was Barack Obama's super PAC, was funded by former top aides back for his re-election in 2012, has now turned itself into a fundraising operation for Hillary Clinton and Democrats, and it's now being co-chaired by none other than Jim Messina, who was Barack Obama's campaign manager in 2012. Emily's List is an organization that has long been dedicated to electing Democratic women to office. Hillary Clinton was instrumental when it started years ago with it. The organization endorsed her over Barack Obama in 2007, and just a couple of weeks ago they announced a new program called simply Madam President. An American Bridge there at the top, that's a super PAC that specializes in attack ads on the GOP, but it just also created a new group that will essentially be responsible for correcting the record. And you see it there on the right. That's specifically trying to take down Republican critics and push back against them. All of this has been so big in its creation that some Democrats are worried that Hillary's doing it again, potentially becoming so big that her campaign will be unwieldy, there'll be infighting, and blow up in her face all over again. There is a congressman from Ohio, the critical battleground state of Ohio. Tim Ryan just recently joined Ready for Hillary. He explains all the early organizing. Watch.
I think we're all prepared to run a really tough race, and I think anyone who's ever run for office, whether it's county commissioner or school board, somebody's saying, hey, you know, you should run for office. We think you'd make a good candidate. And they start kind of plotting your own career before you're even necessarily ready to do it. This is just being done on a much bigger scale.
And it is being done on a much bigger scale. Perhaps the closest thing to compare it to historically is the early stages of what became the George W. Bush 2000 campaign, where Republicans around the country were coalescing around the former Texas governor before he had actually gotten into the race as well. But what Hillary Clinton has going for her is much larger. Jenna?
Very interesting look for us today, Carl. Thank you.